That's the most important thing. And when we want to make a difference in the world, if you can find something that's important to people in their lives, something that they treasure, and this, I believe, is with that number one thing, which is your number one asset. What's your number one asset that you have as an individual? Your health. Yeah. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything, and it's pretty tough to get through the day. And for me, 8.5 years ago, I had good spiritual strength, but my body was just giving out on me. And it was really bad. I couldn't accomplish the things that I wanted to. And so it doesn't even matter if your spirit's strong and your body's not, it holds you back. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so then that affects how we deal with people on a day-to-day basis and what we can get done and how we can promote, positive things. And so I think this is turning that around dramatically in a way that nothing ever has. And so I'm excited to share it with you, especially with those of you that haven't seen it yet. I think you'll learn some things tonight and appreciate the information. I take this as a great responsibility. I know everybody's busy and has things that they want and need to do, and so I can appreciate your time. So I take a great responsibility in dedicating to you, the best information I can give you at this time to make it worth your time. So I'm going to jump right into it because there's a lot of information. I'll go through the science of what a telomere is and where the real core foundation of health is that we've learned. They've probably known for about 3 decades now, but it hasn't been common knowledge. And then I'll go into what we're doing about the concerns and the challenges that we have in that area of the body and talk about this product. And then I'll wrap it up with those that might be interested in helping to get it into the marketplace. But the most important thing to me is that people start putting this in their body.
Amen.
That's the most important thing. And just by a show of hands, how many people's lives have already been, I want to say changed, transformed, touched, or that you felt something from using this product? Hold your hands high so the new people can see. Great, awesome. Appreciate that. All right, so let's go into this. The human body is made up of nothing but cells. Well, not nothing but cells, but it's made up of a lot of cells, 100 trillion. And if you were to if you wanted to count to 1 trillion by seconds, so 1 alligator, 2 alligator, it'd take you 29,000 years just to go to 1 trillion. Now you have 100 trillion. And on top of that, inside that cell, they're kind of depicting it in the image there, is made up of over 1 quadrillion particles. Can't even fathom that. So would you say the human body is a miracle? Yeah, definitely. Who said definitely? I like that attitude. So it has within it, because it's a living organism, an innate capacity to heal itself. Unlike your car, if you crash your car, it can't heal itself because it's an inanimate object, but we're a living organism. And God put into everybody's cells the ability to heal itself. Now there are other industries that might not teach that. They might go about trying to help people get their health back through other means. But I'm a believer that the body's the miracle, and if you can treat it right, it'll treat you right. Now, there's a question I want to ask. Are we in a health crisis in the United States?
Yes.
Okay. So wellness would be considered how we experience our lives on a daily basis. Anybody know where we're ranked at in the world for that?
50th.
Over 50th, yeah. Over 50th in the world for being able to experience a high quality of life on a daily basis. Is that okay? All right, so if this cell is a miracle and it can heal itself, why are we in a health crisis? That doesn't add up, does it?
Big pharma.
Well, okay.
One thing.
Don't get me on that soapbox. But what's the X factor as to why everybody's not experiencing optimal health? Yeah, what we're partnering our bodies up with. What we're putting into our body and fueling that cell with. It's not fueling it today. Anybody see the documentary Food Matters? Anybody seen Food Matters? I'm pretty surprised that a lot of people haven't seen that documentary. I think it's on Netflix. You need to watch it because it kind of opens your eyes to what's going on. And if you have a cell phone and it goes off, you have to come up here and dance. So mute your cell phones, that would be great. They sent me an email, and they say that Americans are eating over 90% processed food. So processed food is more of a man-made food like stuff. And I thought, that's pretty high. I don't know if I believe that. Like, really? So what I did, and you can test this, now you can't do it at a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's, but you could go to the super Walmarts, like where they have the food and stuff. Look at what people are putting on the conveyor belt in front of you. Have you ever done that? Oh yeah, most of the time they're putting 100% processed food, where it has a package or a tinfoil dinner, or something that has all these preservatives and man-made foods in them.
Go into Costco and see the 20 samples they're giving people out
Yeah.
there, they're picking out on, and that's
It's all processed
all
food.
garbage.
So, you guys, you can't fuel your cells on that. It doesn't have the proper nutrients, so that's why we're in a health crisis. We're suppressing the miracle of the cell. So, if you can all of a sudden start feeding those cells, what turns that miracle on? What can happen to somebody's health? It can improve and turn around 180 degrees. It doesn't matter what stage of degenerative health you're in. There's 4 stages of degenerative health. The first 2 you don't really notice. The third one you start having migraines, aches, and pains. The 4th level, they label you with something, like cancer, MS, Parkinson's, cardiovascular disease. Any stage, you can turn that around by turning on the miracle of the body. But on Food Matters, they said, good health makes a lot of sense, but it doesn't make a lot of money. And so there's other organizations out there that are trying to make big profits out of keeping you sick. So getting healthy, it's pretty easy. But you got to know the right things to put into your body. This right here is the single greatest one thing that anybody could do for a long shot. Because that's where we're at in technology. That's where we're at in our understanding, getting to the core foundation of health. So I want to go through and explain the research that's led up to that. Telomeres. They're right there on the red tips on the chromosomes. And in your chromosomes are your DNA. That's the important stuff. The nickname of DNA is the molecule of life. Does that sound important? Whenever you look at anybody, their physical feature, inside or out, is an expression of their genes, their DNA, this stuff. So if you're not happy with your cells and how they look when you look in the mirror, it's this stuff's fault right here. Okay, they run through the chromosomes, tip to tip, and then they sit in the middle of every cell, steering and guiding and telling those cells how to show up for work every day. What we've learned with technology is that as cells divide, the telomeres get shorter and shorter. As they start to get really short, you start to see the symptoms associated with aging and all of the degenerative diseases. They didn't know why we aged. It was never factual. There was a lot of debate, a lot of theorizing. Now we know. As telomeres get short, it affects the DNA, and then you start to see a problem with the cells. It all starts right in there, though, with these and that. And then it shows up out here like that. That was awarded the Nobel Prize in 2009. Anybody remember what category?
Medicine.
Physiology. Physiology and medicine. Yeah. So, the longer you're alive, the more cells you divided, the shorter your telomeres are, and the less quality of life you have. Makes pretty easy sense, right? Makes sense? I don't know if it's easy sense, but I don't even know if that's proper. So,